Chapter 2. Hackers Test 1 to 5.
Listen to a conversation between a student and a professor.
Hi, Professor Jenkins. Can I talk to you for a few minutes?
Well, hi, James. Sure. Is everything going okay these days?
Yeah, I'm really busy with all my classes, but I'm enjoying them.
That's good to hear. How did you like the paintings we looked at last class? The ones from the Cubists.
I really liked them. They really force you to think about the perspective and the way we see everyday objects.
Indeed. So, James, did you come by to discuss anything specific or just to have a chat?
Well, Professor Jenkins, I actually came by because I wanted to talk to you about my major. I'm a bit unsure whether I should major in art history or business.
As your art history professor, I think you know I'm a bit biased. But, it's really interesting that you're trying to decide between art history and business. I had the same dilemma when I was a college student. Well, when we get right down to it, it's really quite simple. Which one do you like more?
Well, I've been interested in business since I was in high school. I had to visit a local business for a school project, and I got really inspired by the CEO there. He took a few minutes to talk to me about what his job was like, and it made me want to go in the same direction.
It's nice to have a role model like that.
I think so too. Plus, studying business makes it easier for me to get a good job after graduating. But, since I started taking your class and Professor Wheaton's course in Renaissance art, I've become very interested in the field. I definitely enjoy my art history classes more than my business ones this semester. So, I'm starting to wonder if I should change my major. Maybe business isn't for me?
My opinion is that you should do what you enjoy. And besides, there are plenty of opportunities for those with art history degrees. Working at a gallery, becoming an art consultant, writing art critiques.
Yeah, you're right.
If you really can't decide, you could always do a double major. Have you considered that?
Never. It would be an awful lot of work.
Well, it's what I wound up doing. Yeah, it was a lot of hard work and took devotion, but it was worth it in the end.
Really? So you think it's a good idea to double major?
Well, it was highly beneficial for me. I got to explore my more imaginative, creative side by studying art. And at the same time, I honed my analytical and strategic thinking in my business classes.
Yeah, I see your point. It does sound appealing, not to mention useful.
You ought to give it some serious thought.
I really appreciate your advice. It does seem like a great idea, though I really have to take some time to look at the pros and cons. I'll let you know what I decide, Professor Jenkins. Thanks so much.
Good luck with your choice, James, and definitely let me know what you decide.
Now get ready to answer the questions. You may use your notes to help you answer. 1. Why does the student go to see the professor? 2. What does the professor say about majoring in art history? 3. What does the student say about the CEO he met? 4. Why does the student want to major in art history?
5. According to the professor, what are two benefits she received from having a double major? 6 to 11. Listen to part of a lecture in a biology class.
As I was saying, the chimpanzees of Africa are divided into three distinct groups. Eastern and central chimpanzees live mainly in tropical rainforests, while western chimpanzees inhabit savannas, which are grassy ecosystems with few trees. To adapt to life in the savanna, western chimpanzees have developed a number of unique behavioral traits. Let's examine a few of them now. So, when discussing the behavior of chimpanzees, food availability is a significant factor. These primates can digest both animal proteins and plant fibers, but they have a strong preference for fruits and leaves. Now, because fruits and leaves are readily available in tropical rainforests, the chimpanzees living here eat only small quantities of meat and insects. The savanna is much more challenging. This type of area, well, it receives less annual rainfall and has long seasonal dry periods. As a result, fruits and other edible plants are rare and only obtainable at certain times of the year. This means that Western chimpanzees must make an effort to locate other sources of food, and they have met this challenge in almost a human way. They have become very proficient at using tools.
I saw a documentary film about this. Don't they catch ants using long pieces of grass?
Well, that activity is common to all types of chimpanzees, but those in the savanna do it more often because insects are a larger part of their diet. They also engage in two unique forms of tool use. These chimpanzees have been observed using stones to crack open nuts. They carry rocks with them to places where there are nuts. So, this indicates planning. The other thing they do is create weapons to hunt other animals. They sharpen the ends of long pieces of wood with their teeth and then use these to kill tiny animals that sleep in holes in tree trunks. In short, the lack of an easily accessible year-round food source has forced Western chimpanzees to develop some very innovative strategies to survive. Now, dealing with the hot African climate is also more difficult in the savanna. Daytime temperatures are extremely high, but unlike the chimpanzees in tropical rainforests, Western chimpanzees do not live under a thick cover of leaves and branches that provide shade. So, they have very little protection from the sun. Obviously, this poses a serious problem for animals that must spend hours each day searching for food. Once again, the Western chimpanzees have come up with a few solutions. First, they make use of the caves that are common in the region. They gather in these caves during the hottest part of the day to avoid the sun. They will also take long naps to conserve energy. To do this, they must adjust their schedules to be more active in the early mornings and evenings. And if the moon is full enough to provide sufficient light, they will even search for food at night. Okay, another thing I wanted to mention is that Western chimpanzees have been observed sitting in pools of water. Yes?
Excuse me, but Aren't chimpanzees scared of water? I seem to remember reading somewhere that they avoid crossing even shallow streams whenever possible.
Well, that's true of most chimpanzees, but surprisingly, the chimpanzees that live in the savannah will seek out fairly deep pools when it gets too hot, and they will submerge themselves entirely to cool down, acting like a group of people at the local swimming pool on a summer day.
Now get ready to answer the questions. You may use your notes to help you answer.
6. What is the main topic of the lecture? Seven. What does the professor say about the diet of chimpanzees? Eight. Why is finding food more challenging for Western chimpanzees? Nine. According to the professor, what are two examples of tool use specific to Western chimpanzees? Ten. How do chimpanzees in the savannah avoid the sun? Eleven. Why is it noteworthy that Western chimpanzees go into pools of water?